Hello, I'm Peter Mouget from Levin, Papantonio out of our whistleblower business tort section. And we're here today to first start with just introducing ourselves, let you know who we are, what our background is, and then more importantly, walking you through the False Claims Act and the impact on those individuals that have information about fraud on our federal and state governments and how they make sure that they report that efficiently and protect themselves and their claims. But let's first start off with each of us introducing ourselves. I'm going to turn it over to Chris first. And Chris, where are you from?
I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah, but I now live here in Pensacola, and I've been here for several years. And I've been practicing law for about 4 years, and I've been specializing in pharmaceutical, medical device litigation, products liability litigation, and federal False Claims Act litigation, or Qui Tam law, as it's referred to.
And what's your undergraduate from USC?
I went to USC, and then I went to Thomas Jefferson School of Law in San Diego for my legal education.
Why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about your background as far as the pharmaceutical and the healthcare? What kind of cases and projects you've been working on that translate well to this Qui Tam and whistleblower area in the healthcare side?
Well, I've worked in product liability litigation against pharmaceutical companies that create drugs that put patient populations at undue risk, at no added benefit to their drugs. And in those particular cases, there's always a set of facts that suggest that these corporations had blatantly lied to healthcare providers, doctors, and hospitals, as well as consumers of their products, in order to get a foothold in the market and secure sales of their drugs. And then it turns out that these drugs injure people severely. And oftentimes, more people take these drugs than normally would have, but for the fraud or the lies that are told by these corporations. And that translates well into federal false claims litigation, because those sort of frauds are simply perpetrated on our government rather than the consumer.
And what we've done at Levin Papantonio is we take attorneys like Chris that have specialties or areas like pharmaceuticals or healthcare, and we put them in when we have a client come in that has a fraud that they want to report, and we match the pharmaceutical healthcare people up so the right attorney is matched up with the right kind of whistleblower. And another example of that is James Kaufman, who spent a career in the financial services or securities area. James, why don't you to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself? Again, where are you from?
Well, Peter, I grew up here in Pensacola, and I grew up here on the Gulf Coast, and my father was a naval aviator and retired here. And that has made me very interested in these types of false claim cases, because a lot of it is fraud against the government, against government contractors, that places servicemen and women and their lives at risk. I went to the University of Florida. Before that, I went to Pensacola High here in Pensacola, and I went to law school at the University of Florida. For most of my career, I have spent that career rooting out Wall Street fraud, mostly market manipulation cases, mostly cases where companies are lying about their financials, they're falsifying information, they're falsifying their accounting, and those cases are typically that I've brought on behalf of classes of shareholders, and try to put money back in the shareholders' pockets. I care deeply about this area of practice, because where there is a lot of government spending, where there's a lot of government entitlements or programs that are given to these corporations, there's a lot of incentive for fraud. And this puts money back in the taxpayers' pockets, puts money back in the government's pockets. And that's a little bit about my background.
And we all know, if you had to be hiding under a rock over the last several years, that the amount of fraud, whether it be analysts, whether it be mortgages, on the security side, is just absolutely tremendous. And the amount of money that changes hands is billions and billions and billions of dollars. And what we're going to do in a series of segments is walk the viewers through that. If it's anything from healthcare to Wall Street, that you make sure that the viewer protects themselves, that the whistleblower who has information protects themselves and gets that information to where it counts. The United States Attorney's Office, through their lawyers, to make sure their claim is properly put in front of the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now, again, my name's Peter Mouget. My background is in finance and economics, similar to James. I have an undergraduate degree in finance and economics and an MBA. I graduated from law school from Cumberland in Birmingham, Alabama, and I've spent my career predominantly in the financial services. I just finished a term as a National Securities Bar president, PIABA. I'm very active in in that national bar and ensuring that investors' rights are protected. We've appeared in front of the SEC, FINRA, and that's, as James mentioned, this is what we do. We protect investors, we protect individuals from corporate fraud, whether it be Wall Street or health services. And we have put teams in place to make sure that the whistleblowers' claims are represented not only by lawyers that understand the False Claims Act and all the different myriad of claims that are and acts that are out there to protect whistleblowers, but we also understand the content of the material that you're blowing the whistle on. So if it's Wall Street, we have financial services litigators. If it's healthcare, we have healthcare. We have the right investigators in place. So I'd encourage you to go to our website, iwantoreportfraud.com, wherein we walk you through a myriad of different topics, and it gives you some really good background information and walks you through our firm, Levin, Papantonio, our history. We're one of the most successful plaintiffs' firms in the country. At one point, we were recognized as the 4th most successful plaintiffs' firm in the United States. We have over $2.5 billion in verdicts. It's not settlements, it's verdicts, and that's tremendous. Most firms are settlement firms. Our firm is known that we try cases, we go to the mat over cases. We are well-staffed, over 150 support staff. We have over 30 lawyers, and we are a very, very strong financial and manpower where we're able to take some of the world's largest companies to the mat over issues. And so I'd encourage you to go to our website, iwantoreportfraud.com, so you can see what we have to relay about whistleblowers and what our background is.